by suppliers, and they get low quality rice. And sometimes consumers came back and blamed them. It is really make them stress. But some retailers who are also wholesaler hire classifiers to identify the right quality. So they're not swindled anymore. But some retailers are more prone to buy the low quality rice because they don't have ability to identify the quality of the rice they bought. Yes. This is the end of my findings, and I will show you my limitations and what I learned after coming to the IRRI. My limitation is the small number of the value chain actors interviewed. This means that my findings are maybe really meaningful and really impressive for me, but it is indicative of what happens in Nueva Ecija, but does not represent the general situation in the area. But I'm sure that it was really impressive, and I understand many things from my trip, even if the specimen is so small. And what I learned is that I achieved what I want to know. The first one is the rice value chain. There are many actors I didn't know when I studied the book. And while visiting there, I saw many actors by my eyes, and it was really helpful for me to understand the rice value chain. Also, the price margins. As I computed, it has many problems because I didn't consider every factors like labor fees or the other factors, which is really hard for me to find out as a bachelor, as an intern. But just finding out what it really is was really great and really funny for me. And the problems. Actually, there are less opportunities to interview many actors in the field, especially in the abroad as foreigners. But uh, uh, but my colleagues, and they really helped me to understand the problems of the Philippine rice industry, and this is all I achieved. I want to know, and I got balanced viewpoints. Yes, different perspectives, and this is the end of my presentation. And I will show my impressions. As before coming here, I was just a student, and I was 28 years old. Even if in here I am 26 years old, and I have to prepare many things for the future. But while I majored on culture economics, I like swimming, baseball, and outdoor sports. But I thought many things to my future, and last year, November, I saw the poster in the bulletin board, and there is a chance to go abroad as an intern. And I saw the IRRI the first time in my life. Yeah. And actually, I didn't know what really is, but after applying for going there, and I understood that the role of the IRRI is really important. I was really happy when I was chosen as the intern of the IRRI as a student of SNU. And before coming here, many people worried about me because the weather is really different, and some foods are really awkward. Some like a balot. Yeah, I didn't try it yet, but and sometimes the water. Sometimes I have to be cautious of water because it is unfamiliar for you. And yes, in fact, I experienced the stool test for the first time in my life, and it really makes me crazy. But now I'm okay. And but besides, but I realized there are many impressive things in the Philippines, IRRI. I visited Mountain Pinatubo with my friends. Yeah, my friends. And I tried many delicious food. Yeah, some kind, honestly, some kinds are not really delicious for me, but almost everything's are really good. And San Miguel, it was really great. And I went to some gorgeous places in UPLB Fair, and it was really great. Among these kind of things, but what made me really impressive and what made me really funny is my colleagues in my market research team. And I really want to express my appreciation to my market research team, and I will remember everything in my in my lifetime. Thank you for my presentation.
Thank you, Miguel, for that nice presentation. Does anybody have a question for Miguel?
Thank you very much, Miguel.
Thank you.
For a very impressive presentation. I think it's very impressive for a bachelor program like we are following. Could you tell us what are the commonalities and specificities and differences between the rice value chain in Korea and the Philippines?
The difference. Actually, I didn't understand the total value chain in the Korea, but some facilities or some techniques are really different, because I mean that in Korea many things are much, how can I say, made the procedure by machine, but sometimes in here the using machine is not so great. Some many procedures are processed by the labor, and maybe I don't think it's really problem, but it should be better if they can use more machines, and sometimes it would be much more efficient, and I think sometimes it is better.
I'm also Korean, so I can answer quickly. Actually, there are many roles or the role players and actors in Korea, so it's very similar way. But especially, I guess I would like to comment on ownership of each sectors.
Yes.
So the land owners or builder owners, owner of builders,
Yes.
so their profit in Philippines is quite high, but in Korea is relatively small, because the facilities for milling rice is owned by government or association farmers. So I guess that this is a very important point to consider. Actually, as a variety developer, I always consider the variety development for farmers and consumers. But this presentation is very, very impressive, because I could understand that these actors in the middle of the process is very important. So probably the variety developers also should consider that, how we can increase the benefit of them, each of the components. And that somehow the yield and quality issues are always contrasting. I also noticed that the NCGAS 222 is famous variety for actually nobody. Why? Because even the farmers told that they don't like it, but they should do it. Why? I would like to know that. I would like to know the answer. But for the customers, they prefer the other variety, NCGAS 160. So, if you are the policymaker, this is my question now. If you are the policymaker, which variety you will recommend to the farmers to grow?
Maybe hybrid. Yes. I'm not sure, because I'm not a specialist of varieties, but as a social scientist, I would like to, how can I say? Maybe I think some varieties should be developed, because because some varieties do not have only strengths, some kinds of have weaknesses. So uh, could you repeat what is your?
So this is my bad habit. I always talk wrong. If you are a policymaker, maybe you may learn that the farmers prefer which type of variety. Is it a high yield variety or high quality variety? Which one?
Maybe as a farmer, they prefer high yielding varieties. So I don't urge them to change the varieties.
Okay.
Yes.
And customers?
And customers?
As a customer, they prefer high quality variety.
Yes.
But in your presentation, I saw that even the farmers also told that when they consume their own variety, they actually didn't like it.
Yes. Yes.
So that means the value of the rice per kilogram or per hectare
Yes.
could be different, right? So why we, like me, the variety developers, we always consider the abiotic stress, biotic stress, resistance, and to increase the yield, yeah, to overcome the yield gap, to increase more and more yield. But actually, I couldn't find that they are really positive to that, personally or individually.
Yes.
So, in this situation, if you are a person maker, so which kind of type of variety you will recommend to the farmers to grow?
Yes. Maybe I will recommend something has better taste, and much more high yielding. And yes, I will recommend that kinds of varieties, even if it is not existed.
First of all, congratulations for doing such a very detailed study of the marketing chain. I'm a little bit late, so I'm not sure if you have presented it. Did you estimate the total price margin from the farmer to the consumer? How much? Because you indicated by actor, but the total price margin from the farmer to the consumer, like say how much they buy it per caban.
Yes.
That could be wet paddy or dry paddy, and how much they sell it by wholesale price. Of course, you have to convert.
Yes.
The dry paddy should be expressed in milled rice, and then, or vice versa. Did you do an estimate?
Actually, I estimated it before, right before last week, but I removed it because it is really complicated, and sometimes the figure is not correct. I mean, I thought that kinds of price margin represent every situation as a figure, but it was not correct. Sometimes the margin of the farmer is much bigger than wholesalers in my calculation. So
No, what I mean is margin total
yes.
from farmer to consumer.
consumer.
So that includes the margin of wholesaler, the margin of miller,
Yes.
the margin of retailer. Because you give the margin by actor, but you did not give the
Total, yes.
marketing margin from farmer to consumer, or the price sold by retailer direct to the person.
Yes.
So it's much simpler actually
Yes.
than computing margin by each actor.
You mean that I should collect the price margin?
So you can just add, because you have the retail price,
Yes.
and you have the farm price. So if you subtract, that's your margin per
Yes,
hectare.
yes.
Just something that you can calculate easily from your
Yes.
From there you can see what is the missing link,
Yes.
because you were able to get the margin for wholesaler, the one you presented, for retailer, and you have presented for miller. So you will see the real price margin if you do that. Because you have a very interesting data set, so I'm sure you can do that from your
Yes.
data set.
Yeah. Maybe I will do that later. Yes.
I'll just make a comment about what you mentioned about the difference in the why the farmers are selecting higher yield instead of the consumption. And I think the reason for that is that they really don't get a big price difference between the lower quality rice and the higher quality rice, the farmers. So it does not translate so much difference in the farm gate price. It does in the retail price. So there's a big difference, like you have 27 for the really low quality rice and you have like 46, 48 for the high quality rice per kilo. But at the farm level, the price difference is not so much. So there's really no incentive for farmers to grow the higher quality rice because they will get higher income producing more rice that are of lower quality. I think that's why farmers still grow the rice with high yielding even if they don't like to eat it.
Recently I have read the paper about marketing rice in Nigeria, and it's about pricing rice back, where that some of the rice grain is damaged by insects. How do they inspect damaged grains in this value chain?
How do they
Inspect damaged grain. Have you ever heard about the inspection of the grains in the process from farmer to the whole the retailers?
the retailers? Actually, it was not able to find out because inspect because I have so many limitations.
So that's not the major issue.
Major issue.
It's not the major issue. Inspecting not the grain quality in terms of the taste and so on, but the damage.
Yes.
That's not the big issue. That's not.
Yes, that's not the
Okay. So if you still have more questions or Miguel, we can talk to him after the seminar. So for that, let's give him a round of applause.